Okay, today's lesson is the same as yesterday. We're going to solve word problems using systems of equations. And so at the top of this worksheet, I have listed the 3 steps that we talked about yesterday. Number 1, we need to define our variables to start with. That's part of your work, so make sure you don't forget to do that. Number 2, write the systems of equations, the system. So we will do that. And then number 3, we're going to solve for all variables. And we need to make sure that when we solve, we do go back at the end and identify our answer. Always make sure we answer the question. Okay, so I'm going to start with example 1. And I'm going to do these 3 examples for you and then let you work on some more practice problems today. So number 1 says the difference of 2 numbers is 3. Their sum is 13. Find the 2 numbers. So we're going to start by defining our variables. In this case, we have 2 numbers and we don't know what they are. So I'm going to let x be the first number. And then I'm going to let y equal the second number. And that seems very simple, but you have to state your variable so that we know when we get our answer which one goes with which variable. So we've defined our variables. Number 2, write the system of equations. So the difference of 2 numbers is 3. That means subtract. So x minus y equals 3. Their sum is 13. That means add. So x plus y equals 13. Now to solve the system, this one is already set to do elimination where the y's are going to eliminate or cancel. So I'm just going to mark those out and then I'm going to add straight down. X plus x is 2x. 3 plus 13 is 16. Divide both sides by 2 and I get x equals 8. So the first number is 8. I have to plug back in to either equation. I'm going to do the bottom one to find out what my other variable is. So x plus y equals 13 is my bottom equation. And I'm going to plug in x to be 8. 8 plus y equals 13. So I would subtract 8 on both sides. And that would give me y equals 5. So I have 2 numbers. And my first number, x, was 8. My second number, y, is 5. And that's identifying my answer. Okay, number 2. Number 2 is a little bit different. It's new. This is one of the coin problems that I talked to you about yesterday. So we're going to start with, I'm going to read it and then we'll talk about our variables. Charlie has $3.35 in dimes and quarters. If he has a total of 23 coins, how many dimes does he have? So to start with, I'm going to define my variables, and I have 2 units in this. I have dimes and quarters. So I'm going to let D equal dimes, and I'm going to let Q equal quarters. Now, we're going to start off, and our first equation is going to be how many total dimes and quarters I have. So I'm going to do D plus Q equals, and it tells me he has a total of 23 coins. So there's 23 dimes and quarters total. No money whatsoever in that first equation. The second equation is going to have all the money in it. We know that a dime is worth 10 cents and a quarter is worth 25 cents. And I'm going to just list it right here beside it. A dime, 10 cents is 0.10. 25 cents for a quarter is 0.25. So make sure you do know that. Let me move this equation over just a little bit. So we've got D plus Q equals 23 for our coins. Now for the money. A dime is worth 10 cents. So 10 cents times D plus 25 cents times Q equals the money. How much total money does Charlie have? $3.35. Now we are going to have to eliminate one of the variables. I'm going to try to eliminate the D's. In order to eliminate D, I would need a negative 0.10 right there beside the D. So I'm going to multiply that top equation by negative 0.10. So that's going to be negative 0.10D minus 0.10Q equals negative 2.3. Now I'm going to bring over the bottom equation. 0.10D plus 0.25Q equals 3.35. And let's add straight down. Straight down will eliminate the D's. So I will get negative 0.10Q plus 0.25Q is 0.15Q. Be sure to put that in your calculator if you're not sure. And then negative 2.3 plus 3.35. Let me put that in my calculator. That's 1.05. Now divide both sides by 0.15. I know this is a lot of decimals, so you got to be really careful. That would give me Q equals 7. So there are 7 quarters. To find out how many dimes, we're going to plug that back into the top equation. So that was D plus Q equals 23. And if Q is 7, and we subtract 7 on each side, I get D equals 16. So my answer is, I'm going to put it in red, we have 7 quarters. Wait a minute. Let's go back and read the question. The question says, how many dimes does he have? So the answer to the question is the number of dimes. So I would say 16 dimes. Remember to always read and answer the question when you finish. Okay, last one is number 3, example 3. It says tickets for a high school football game were $8 for adults and $5 for students. A total of 1,970 tickets were sold. The total ticket sales were $12,220. How many adult and student tickets were sold? Okay, so I'm going to start by defining my variables. I'm going to let S be student tickets. And I'm going to let A equal adult tickets. Okay, so let's write our equations. Let's add together student plus adult tickets. How many total tickets do we have? 1,970. There is no money whatsoever in that top equation. The bottom equation is all the money. So student tickets is first, S. Those were worth $5, so they were 5S. Plus adult tickets were $8, so 8A, equals the money, which was $12,220. Okay, we need for our S's to go away. So I'm going to multiply my top equation by negative 5. So that would give me negative 5S minus 5A equals negative 9,850. And then I'm going to bring over my other equation, 5S plus 8A equals 12,220. Okay, that cancels out my S's. So that would leave negative 5A plus 8A is 3A. And then negative 9850 plus 12,220 gives me 2370. Divide both sides by 3 would give me A equals 790 adult tickets. To find student tickets, we plug that back into S plus A equals 1970. So S plus 790. And then minus 790 on each side will give me, punch that in, 1180. So there are 790 adult tickets and 1,180 student tickets. So 790 adult, 1,180 student.